Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Review. Today in front of you is the Davosa, basically the Davosa GMT. And as you can see, it definitely closely resembles the Rolex GMT Master 2, aka the Batman, but you know, it's not the exact case and the exact specifications. I would call it a homage, not a one-to-one, but definitely a very popular, watch because of the color scheme and, obviously because of Rolex, but definitely the case and everything is, pretty different, as well as the crown, the bracelet, the clasp, and so on. So let's just keep it at that. Nonetheless, this watch is $1,300 US from Davosa. This is a review unit, so I will be sending this back. So I'm definitely going to give you my honest opinion on the watch. Now, the watch itself is actually 42 millimeters, unlike its brother, the Batman, or you can call it the GMT Master 2. So we have a 42 millimeter solid 316L stainless steel case. We have a lug-to-lug distance of about 50 millimeters, or just under, at about 49.9 my calipers gave me. In terms of case thickness, we're looking at about 13.5 millimeters. So, it's pretty decently sized. It really doesn't wear that big on the wrist, though. I will show you towards the end of the video. Now, the case itself has a couple different finishes. Obviously, you have a highly polished flank here on the side, where the crown is, with a signed Davosa crown. And the other side, likewise, is completely polished. I must admit the finishing is pretty good on these watches. I really do have nothing bad to say about the finishing. It's pretty good. Now, you might see some scratches. This was a review unit, so there is going to be scratches, as this watch has touched the hands of other watch reviewers as well. The bracelet and the top of the lugs are completely brushed in a fine brush finish. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. The case is cut quite sharp, as you can see there. When it's brushed over here and polished over here, it definitely goes together nicely. Very sharp edges here. I do like that. Now, the bracelet, of course, is an oyster style bracelet, and which is different, from the standard, brands that produce Rolex style bracelets, which I think is absurd. So you have your standard oyster screw link bracelet here with very curvy links, pretty good fluidity, not too bad there. A pretty nice milled clasp here, all stainless steel. And it does come with a diver's extension, as you can see there. You do get a little extra room on the wrist if you want to throw it over a wetsuit and take it in the water. Let me just close that. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. And you do see the signed Davosa clasp there, which is pretty nice. It's very comfortable. It's thin. It's not like one of those huge ratcheting ones. I really don't like those. Those are pretty thick. And this one, stays out of the way and it's comfortable on the wrist. But let's get to the actual dial, the movement, the GMT function, and all that good stuff. Now, before we get into that, I just wanted to state the actual professional name from Davosa, USA.com is the Ternos Professional TT 42mm 200-meter GMT black/blue, parentheses Batman 1615 7145. And just for you people out there that like the exact reference number, this is under the Ternos model. I did review one of the Ternos models a long time ago, and that is the standard kind of Submariner-like watch. So you can definitely check back my videos and check that one out as well. Now, before getting into it, the actual movement is a Swiss ETA automatic movement. It's the ETA 2893 GMT function movement. It has a quick set date over a 3 we can see here. Visible through the nice Cyclops. And I must admit the Cyclops is very legible. You can see that 7 very clear. It's very large, and I have no issues with that. Now, the movement out of the way. Getting to the watch, so we have that nice ceramic insert on this 120 click bezel, which is unidirectional. Keep that in mind. So it's black on the top, blue on the bottom. I believe this was for day and night from Rolex. But nonetheless, it's a great color scheme. Most people that buy the Rolex Batman probably don't even know how to use the GMT function. That's just my opinion, though. So we do get a nice blue GMT hand to match the blue over here. And I really think they got the colors right. This color blue, I think they really got it right. It really pops, and especially outside in the daylight, it's very noticeable. This watch will get noticed on your wrist. So we have your typical sword hands, which are completely filled with superluminova, as well as the applied maxi style markers. And Davosa is printed. We have the Mercedes hour hand. If I can just unscrew this crown here. I'm just going to go ahead and move the hands here so you can see the Davosa Swiss logo and that Mercedes hand. Put it down here. Okay. Let me just screw this back in. So you have that typical Mercedes hand, the nice blue GMT hand, Swiss made printed down at the bottom. Very simple, very, to the point. Basically, if you want a Batman, you want to spend like, $12,000, go ahead. But if you want something that's relatively affordable and relatively, a pretty good quality watch, something like this can definitely hold you over. Or you can just replace this with that, vice versa. That's your choice, of course. Anyway, so pretty much the Ternos here is printed with professional GMT automatic 200 meters. This watch is 200 meters water resistance, and of course it is under the Ternos line, which is probably their best-selling line in my eyes. I think it probably is. A nice large crown here, which looks very. I think it looks nice with the shape of the case and the integrated crown guards here. I think it fits in the whole picture pretty good. It's aesthetically pleasing to me, and it's very easy to unscrew and screw back in. I must admit, it's very easy to use and very smooth as well when you're winding this. So that's the first position, which is self-winding. Second position, we can quick set the date and the GMT hand, as you can see, 9, 10, and the GMT hand as well for your second time zone. Everybody likes to do the GMT differently. Personally, I'll set mine to standard GMT time, and then I'll just use the bezel to keep a second time zone. That's how I like to do it, although I believe you can hold up to 3 time zones on this timepiece if you really wanted to. Now the bezel itself is a coin-edged bezel, which is polished on the sides here. But I didn't mention, we do have 22mm lug widths here, which is pretty standard for this diameter size case here. And the bezel is very easy to use. It does rotate pretty smoothly. A little play there. That's pretty normal though. Even in my Rolex I have a little play as well. But everything does line up to the 12 o'clock position, so you should have no issues there reading your GMT time. Now the loom on this watch is pretty good. It's not Seiko good, but I think it's pretty good. And I want to show you guys the loom. It does glow green on the Mercedes hand, the Sword hand, all the applied markers. No loomed bezel on this one. But let's see what it looks like. Here's a nice loom shot for you guys. As you can see, the loom is pretty bright. It's even hitting the sides of that Sapphire Crystal. You can see that lollipop tip seconds hand sweeping around right at the 12 o'clock position right now. The GMT hand is lit, and it's definitely a little brighter on the hands and the GMT hand than the actual applied markers themselves. Now there she is on my 6.5 inch wrist. And it fits pretty nice. It's quite snug. It doesn't ride too high off the wrist considering the thickness of this GMT watch. Obviously the GMT movement's a bit thicker than a standard ETA 2824, I believe, so it's going to be a bit thicker, but it really doesn't wear that big on the wrist. It's definitely suitable for my 6.5 inch wrist, as you can see right now. The bracelet itself definitely looks at home on this watch. There's a straight on view there. It doesn't look big on my wrist at all. My wrist is not that big at 6.5 inches. There's the clasp sitting very nicely, very securely. No issues with the clasp. It clicks in solid. Little Davosa signed logo there. But yeah, nonetheless, definitely a good fit for my wrist. Now taking a quick peek at the case back is screwed down. You can see the solid end links from this angle right here, which is always good to have and pretty standard at this price point of $1,300 US. Case back is screwed down. We have Davosa in the middle, Davosa Swiss. Some specifications, 200 meters, water resistant, Swiss made, of course, and that's pretty much it. It's a very simple watch. I like the color schemes. I didn't mention, of course, you should know, but this watch does have a sapphire crystal. One would, of course, expect one at this price point. But nonetheless, a very good looking watch. Considering the rising prices in the Rolex GMT Master 2 line from Rolex, at crazy high prices, something I would never pay for something like that. You can definitely get something similar like this, which is a very good quality Swiss-made automatic watch from a reputable brand, at 1/13 of the price. So, I think it's not that bad. It's a pretty decent watch. It's well made, it's well finished, has a good movement, a decent bracelet, and the color scheme is definitely cool. I had some fun wearing this one around, and I think you guys should check it out, or check out the brand at least. I think they have some pretty cool watches on their website. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I know there's a lot of controversy on YouTube with homage watches. Honestly, I have no problem. This is obviously not a one-to-one replica or something like that. It's just using the standard GMT layout with the blue and black. And I don't think they're trying to hide that from anybody. So that's always a good thing. So drop a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this watch and the brand. I think it's a pretty cool watch. Definitely looks good on my wrist. And I want to know what you guys think. You can follow me at watchaddict.channel.com. That's the blog. At watchaddict.channel is the Instagram. I hope to see you guys soon. You can always find some useful links down in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in again. Bye.